I've made it my goal to platinum some of the best and hardest games out there, and after dying a lot in my Last of Us Grounded run, I decided to try and have more of a relaxed approach. I played one of the best games of 2024, Stellar Blade. This game is a very fun action game as I didn't get bored at all when playing through it. The soundtrack was also great and it had some absolute bangers. In order to get the platinum, I had to earn 45 trophies which included collectibles, maxing out gear, and achieving 3 different endings, which I managed to do in 2 playthroughs as an absolute slayer at this game. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! In my first playthrough, I will be going for most of the trophies, as when I first play a game, I do like to complete everything before moving on with the story, so it just end up being my completionist run. There will be spoilers in this video, so now you've been warned, let's do this. The game starts off with Eve, the main character, being fired down to Earth in the drop pod, as our objective is to save Earth from the Tebas, these alien looking things, but before we set off to Earth, we get attacked first by the enemy. Oh yeah, them shields were good, weren't they? Oh yeah, it's a code red, alright. What was the point in them shields? After crashing our drop pod, our mentor Taki then comes to the rescue to get us out of our pod, and I got my first taste of how amazing the combat is in this game as I made my way up the beach towards the rest of our team. That was a perfect parry. That was hold L1 on press to use beta skill. Ooh. Ooh. We then made it to the rendezvous point where we watched our full team get destroyed and entered our first boss battle, which didn't go to plan. That's all our team dead. Yeah, that thing is... oh, it's got 2 big ball sacks. I'm taking an absolute beating. Then this bird enemy showed up, which had some interesting features. Showed up out of nowhere to finish us off. Even that's got boobs. Game loves it. Ooh. Oh. Now that we had witnessed Taki's death, we fast forward a bit where Eve and this person who ended up rescuing us, called Adam, are out on a mission. Adam offered to help us hunt down an Alpha Natiba, who are kind of the bosses of the Natibas, so that Eve could kill them and rescue Earth. In return, Adam wanted us to find a hypercell for him, so we set off in the first area of the game, Idol 7. While making my way through Idol 7, I slayed some enemies and started collecting documents by scanning every area of the game I came across, to make sure I didn't miss any collectibles. As I made my way down the street, I came across the first camp, which were rest points where you could upgrade skills and recover your healing items. The first area was basically a tutorial for some of the basic combat skills I'd be using throughout the game, such as assassinations, perfect dodges, and perfect parries, and they were quite satisfying to pull off. Airstrike! Baby. The window is quite small. Retribution! There was also beta skills, which were my special abilities, and I could unlock more from using skill points at the camps. And one thing I did like about this game was that you got to practice with your skills in a training area before using your points on the skill. You didn't have to waste them. Eventually I came across the first boss fight in the game where I could suddenly see how good the combat in this game actually is. Oh, this looks like a boss fight. It's got a Gloriole. Oh, Jesus. This is rocket. This is epic. I've nearly got it. I've nearly got it, man. Do not die on me. Yeah, got him. L1. Wow. Oh, pretty epic. If all boss battles are like this, I'm in for one hell of a game. And the bosses did only get better as I got further into the game. They were definitely one of the main highlights for this game overall. After making my way through Idol 7, I reached the Hall of Records where the hypercell Adam wanted us to get was. So we took that and now we could start to make our way towards the Alpha Natiba, but before that I came across another boss which was a lot easier than the first one. Easy. That was a well easy boss. I then made my way through a construction site where I had to make a path using cranes, and then made my way through a sewer area where I started to find core upgrades for my health and beta energy. I finally reached the area where the Alpha Natiba was, and oh boy, he was a big boy. This thing means business. Big as. He's a bit of a Giga Chad. To be honest, this boss wasn't too hard either, but it still ended up in Eve tearing it to absolute shreds. He does not mess around. He was the Giga Chad. I then retrieved my first Alpha Core from the Tiba and came across our other main ally in the game, Lily, who had just been laying around in her drop pod waiting for someone to rescue her basically. He was also from the colony like Eve, but from the engineering core. After introductions were done, we agreed to help Adam find other hypercells for the one place humans were still alive, which was the main hub area of the game, Zion. Before I could start exploring Zion, I got introduced to a bunch of new characters such as Oracle, who is the lead of Zion, and he certainly seemed suspicious. Oracle then revealed more information about our missions, such as needing to kill the Elder Natiba to save humanity, but in order to reach the Elder, we had to gather 4 cores from Alpha Natibas to create a key to the nest where the Elder was staying. But there was a catch obviously. Oracle is able to locate more alphas if we gather more hypercells for him, as it would extend how far he can search for them using some telekinesis kind of thing. This led to him assigning us our next mission, which was to get a hypercell from Altesse Lavar out in the wasteland. Before I set off to the wasteland, I got the chance to explore Xeon, in which I started to find soda cans, one of the collectibles in the game, and I also came across a bunch of new characters and side missions. But before I could make a start on these side missions, I started to unlock outfits now. So I sat and played around with this feature for a while, and I also unlocked the gun from Lily, which became very useful throughout the game. Now that I collected all the side quests available and I explored Xeon, I set off to the first open area of the game, the Wasteland, which was a big open world area full of collectibles and other side content. My first objective for this area was to fix the solar tower so that I could start using camps, and after using a bit of parkour, I eventually made it to the top of the tower to activate it. Now it was a lot easier to get around the map as I could fast travel between the camps I had unlocked. I made a start and finishing side quest as I made my way towards the main objective, and I came across this one fight with waves of enemies where I just kept dying. I then finished some of the side quests off, such as finding Kaya's trunk of items, and her questline was important to finish due to a trophy being linked to it. But before I handed all them side quests in, I reached Altesse Lavoir, where I came across an interesting character. Ooh, hello. I had to beat her in a fight to get access to Altesse Lavoir, and she didn't hold back at all against me. Whoa. Die! That did a job. No! I was so close. Oh, you so dead. You dead as hell. Die! Nice. Now I could make my way into Altesse Lavoir, which was an underground facility the humans used back in the day. While making my way through this area, I could only use my gun, which was a fun change to using the sword, and there were some puzzles I also had to solve in this area. At the end, I had to fight the heart of the infection, which was no trouble really, as I just spammed it with bullets constantly, and its health went down rapidly. Die! Got him! Maelstrom defeated. I then retrieved a hypercell and another trophy pot for doing so, but before we could exit the building, we came across a recording which is called a legacy of someone called Raven, who was a part of the different airborne drop squad before Eve. Raven started to tell us about her experience on her mission, and that there was a war before the Natibas between the Andros Eidos, who were androids, and the humans, which eventually led to the Natibas' creation. When returning to Oracle with the new hypercell, Oracle revealed that our Alpha Natiba was in an area called Matrix 11. But before I set off to this area, I made sure I completed every side mission that was available, as a lot more had now become available. So I started talking to different people, picking up all the available quests and set out to the wasteland to finish them. The side quests were fun to complete as well, as there was individual stories that developed as I advanced through the game, such as helping Sue and Enya develop their relationship. The side missions had me explore all over the wasteland, and I came across some enemies that rubbed me up the wrong way. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Ah! And then some side bosses as well, such as this brute which was killing a bunch of people from Zion, so I dealt with it in the best way possible. Ooh, is it a big boy? Ah, it's one of these again. God, yeah, dead as hell. Nice. Brute. Defeated Brute. Nice. The final side mission in this area had me meet another character called Digger, who had a trophy connected to his quest chain, so it was important I finished it, and he wanted me to activate some terminals across different regions, which I hadn't unlocked yet, such as desert. So I went on to complete side missions back on Ida 7, which was fun to visit again. Before I enter Matrix 11, I noticed a percentage bar in the top right of my screen, and it would increase every time I got a collectible or finished a side mission, and it turns out it is important to reach 100% with this to achieve one of the endings. Now that's explained, we can move on to Matrix 11, where the next Alpha Natiba was waiting for us. Matrix 11 was an abandoned train graveyard, and I came across new enemy types in this area. Hell is that thing? An important note to point out is that it was important that I killed every enemy type I came across so that I would advance in the Natiba Researcher Trophy. This new enemy type would swarm me at times, and I found myself in a situation where I'd be spamming my beta skills, which led to a trophy popping for me. And hup, hup. Nice! What's that for? Defeated 100 enemies with the beta skills. Very nice. As I made my way through this area, collecting everything I came across and finishing a quick time event. Jump! Right, where are we going now? Onto the end train. End the train. End the train. End the train. Jump! Sweet niblets. I came across the first boss in this area called Stalker, where the intensity of the bosses really started to pick up. Here we go. Got like Glory on its head. Music is very intense. So close. We nearly got him. Oh, he's better me. No! Revive. Get him. Get him, Eve. Get him. Stop. In the plums. Yes. Yes, in the heart. Well, that was pretty awesome. After taking a while to figure out this one puzzle and dying a bunch of times to this one enemy type, I made it to the next boss, which was just as fun as the last. This guy seems like it's his place. It's his hood. His crib we're invading. And I don't think he's too happy about it. So badass. Oh, it's using the hammer. Squash his head. Yes. That is how we do it up in here. That was, these boss fights are pretty cool. I then got stuck on this underground water area as I couldn't find the key I needed. But after a long time of searching and finding it, I could advance for Eve to only get punished again. You couldn't catch a break really. What's going on now? Oh wow, that's a lot of enemies. We're gonna have to run. Run and shoot the canisters. Nice. Oh. Oh yeah. Baby. Whoa, we'll put these here. Whose idea was that? That is mad. Parkour master. After making my way through that horrific experience, nothing could prepare me for the plot twist that came next. It's about to go down. Some big plot points. Oh my god. It's Thingy from the beginning of the game, isn't it? Whoa. Badass. The mask is off. Personal. Whoa, Jesus. What the hell? We're getting there. Making good progress. I was making progress. I was making progress. For crying out loud. Give me that revive. I'm finishing this shit. Where are you? You dead? We got you. Finish ya! Turns out Taki had been made into an Alpha Natiba by the bird looking thing from the beginning of the game. And after an emotional farewell, we moved back to Xeon with the Alpha Core and back to Oracle, who told us we will need to find another hypercell, Shock, to locate the next Alpha. And this time we'll be travelling to Abyss Lavoir in the desert region. Now that I'd reached this point in the game, I wasn't sure if it was a point of no return. As I knew there was one, I just wasn't sure when it was. So I decided to complete all the side quests that were available. But before I set out, I unlocked a new combat ability called Taki Mode, which allowed me to use Taki's sword to destroy enemies. It was very useful when taking out groups of small enemies. I then arrived in the desert for the first time, which even though it was full of sand and an open space, I absolutely loved it. The first task I had to complete though was to activate the solar tower so that I could fast travel around. While completing side quests, I ended up reaching 100% with the bar in the top right, which meant I'll get the secret ending. I also unlocked fishing in the desert, which was an interesting side activity, as it got me hyped up at times to only disappoint me in the end. Come on, baby, got it! Bingo! That's tiny. The hell? At this point, I started to pick up some combat trophies, such as parrying 300 enemies' attacks. One of the side quests I took on put me up against a new boss, which I didn't mess around with. Oh, what am I fighting here? Ooh. Gonna be close. Gonna be too close. No! Too bad I've got to revive. No, I got it. I got it. I got it. Behemoth down. Defeated Behemoth. Nice. I then got the feeling I was starting to wrap up the side content in the game, as I started to get trophies for finishing certain quest storylines, such as Kaya's, where we found out her sister died, so that didn't work out for her. In between finishing the side quests, I picked up another combat trophy for getting 150 range kills, and then I wrapped up Digger's questline for a trophy, which only actually had one quest, so that wasn't long at all. I then finished Enya and Sue's story, which wrapped up the side quest trophies. As I was exploring other parts of the world, I ended up finding my 200th databank entry. Then it was time to enter the next story area, Abyss Lavoir. And in order to access it, I needed to defeat another one of them guards, which was a lot easier than the first time. Abyss Lavoir was very similar to the first Lavoir area, as I could only use my gun. I had to make my way through waves of enemies and a bunch of parkour parts. The boss was the same as the first Lavoir as well, as I had no trouble disposing of it, so I was then able to pick up the next hypercell, and pick up another legacy from Raven, who revealed that the Natibas are actually humans who evolved. So, yeah, that was interesting. I then returned to Oracle, who told us the next Alpha Natiba is in space, so we need to reach the orbital elevator in Spire 11. But before we went there, we visited Eidos 9, as I unlocked a secret ending, which meant Lily wanted to visit her old hideout first, where she wanted to say goodbye to her old friend. On our way to Spire 11, Adam got a call as something was happening in Zion, so me and Lily carried on towards the orbit elevator by ourselves. And as I arrived at Spire 11, I picked up a new nano suit, which ended up being my 30th one, rewarding me with a trophy. Spire 11 was quite enjoyable as it introduced a new enemy type, which were Natibas, which had taken over robots. And I also got to ride this tube, which was a lot of fun, with a nice surprise at the end of it. Yeah, boy! Can't really control that. Whoa! Ah, he's epic. Yeah, boy. Nice. Got two chainsaws. Oh. Oh. Ow. Yeah. That went well. Oh. That was quick. You're running away. You pussy. After scaring off Belial, I carried on through Matrix 11, and while doing so, I got my next trophy. After making my way through a bunch of turrets that would just spam me, I arrived at the space station where the orbit elevator was located. I had to return power to the station, so I went off on a little sidetrack to do this, which led to the Belial, the boss who scared me earlier, and on this time, I made sure to finish him off. Let's do this. Music is epic, man. Nice. Again, and 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 again. Smash that button. Yes. Screw you. And the little one eye. Now that I was finally rid of that pain in the ass, I could start making my way through the space station to reach the cargo elevator. And as you'd expect, we didn't make it all the way to space, as it got stuck. So I had to do some parkour with a pretty scenic view. Whoa. Look at that view, man. After eventually reaching the VIP elevator, I made a new friend who was the maid for the VIP area. But that friendship didn't last long at all. Oh, well, yeah, see you later. After saying our farewell, I came up against the most freaky design boss in the game, which certainly challenged me. This boss is tougher than the others. Can't dodge that attack. Can't dodge that attack, man. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. I then finally figured out this enemy's moveset, which gave me a trophy for performing 200 perfect dodges, which led to me finally killing this boss. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes! Shortly after defeating it, I climbed up the rest of the elevator to then reach the final boss of this area, supposedly. The music.
I'll put an end to it.
What's he doing? The hell? This boss was such a cool design that lived up to the Alpha Nativa name, but it turned out that it wasn't the Alpha after all, as a giant hand turned up to throw us into space, in which we discovered the real Alpha with a pretty badass ending. What the hell's happening?
Over there!
Yeah, I think that's the Alpha Nativa.
The real Alpha.
Whoa.
It's empty!
Bye-bye. So long. Whoa. After defeating the giant Alpha, a random mech suit turned up out of nowhere to save us from crashing down to Earth, where we met back up with Lily and returned to see what was happening as Ion. As we arrived, we witnessed the town getting attacked and set on fire, so we made our way straight to where Oracle usually is, to only find that son of a bitch from the beginning of the game was. And we got to fight her, and after beating her, I came across another plot twist in the story. Oh my god. What the hell is happening? Is that Raven?
From the legacies.
As it turns out, Raven was the Corona Tiba all along, and she managed to escape her death, so we saw this opportunity to go save Oracle. And Oracle actually reveals that he is also an Alpha Natiba who was trying to be good and escape his past. So instead of getting healed, he sacrificed himself, give us his core, which allowed us to combine 4 of them so that we are now able to enter the Elder's Nest and confront it. At this point, Zion was now locked out to me by the townspeople just standing in my way. There was just one person missing though, which was Adam. So the next main objective was to find him, and his bike had a tracking device on it. But before doing that, I could tell this was the end of the game. So I went on a grind to finish the collectibles. If there was any other trophies I could pick up along the way, such as upgrading my weapon to its max rank. The main first collectible I was going for was all the cans, and I worked my way through each area in the game, such as the Wasteland first, and I picked up the trophy for getting 50 burst kills, opening up 200 boxes, and maxing out my beta energy. After finishing up the Wasteland, I moved on to the desert, and the can collecting in this game wasn't too bad, as there was different types of puzzles to unlock, some of them which spiced up the gameplay a bit, such as moving these boxes around. And as you can tell, I had a lot of fun. Lovely jubbly. And while looking for the cans, I picked up 2 more combat trophies for getting 50 kills in Taki mode, and a total of 1,500 kills throughout the game. Eventually I managed to find the final can in the game, which I thought meant I could carry on with the story. Can collector. Don't know what that was. But there was one more trophy I forgot about. Please! Stupid box, god damn it! Holy Jesus! Whoa! That is some thick thing. I had to collect 20 different fish, which was RNG based, and there were set locations, but the best area I found was this little pond in Idle 7. So I sat here for an hour catching fish. Another bloody salmon. What the hell is that? I've done it! Yes! Only fisherman, 20 fish. Get in. Before I could advance onto the final part of the game, I upgraded my 10th exospine for that trophy. Now that I'd cleaned up most of the trophies, I could carry on the story by tracking Adam's bike to find him, and funnily enough, it was located at the entrance to the nest, where we came across Raven again and fought her one more final time. Okay, let's do this. Me and you, Raven. Ouch. Ah! Oh, in the chest. Nice. Get it. Get it. Nice. Oh, we're close. We only got a... No, I died. I nearly had her. Ah, god damn it. Get her, get her, get her, get her, get her. Yes, got her. Aha. Ooh. Ooh. Rips your arm off. Yeah, she's dead. Yeah. Oh. After beating Raven, we opened the nest door using the 4 alpha keys and started to advance through the area. And I came across the final camp in the game, which rewarded me with a trophy. And then I came to the final boss in the game, which turned out to be Adam, that son of a bitch, as he manipulated us this whole time, as he was the elder Natib all along, as he wanted to combine with Eve to become the ultimate species, both human and mech combined. It was at this point which I would determine which of the 3 endings I would get, and seeing as I just did the 100% run, I had to choose to take his hand, even though I didn't really want to. This led to Adam and Eve fusing together to become the ultimate being, though his mech suit then became corrupted, as we now had Nitiba in us, which led to the final boss of the game. This boss fight had a lot of fast moves, which meant I was parrying a lot of the time, but after spamming my skills enough times, I managed to reach the second phase, as Lily escaped out of the mech suit to hide in cover, which allowed Eve to use her new godly powers to finish the mech off. Let's do this! Wait, I've got a timer. 2 minutes. Whoa. Whoa, I've got magic powers. Oh, that's the move to do. This is the move to do. We've got him. We've got him. Back pockets. Here we go. Let's do this. It's pretty OP now. Ooh. Well. Eve is officially OP. Wow. Now that I'd finished the boss off, the trophy pot's one of the endings, and Eve and Lily left the nest together to bump into Mother Sphere, who was their boss basically, and she wasn't happy with the choice Eve made, so she turned up with an army to try and finish Eve off, at least the end of the game. The hell? What the hell is this? What the hell is going on? I thought the game was going to end. Last one. What happens now? Where are they coming from? Oh wait, what's happened? Ooh, that's how it ends. Now that I'd finished my first run, my next objective was to get the other 2 endings while picking up the remaining miscellaneous trophies. And I did get them quite quickly as I rushed through the game on New Game Plus, which carried over all my skills and upgrades. The trophies I picked up was for fully upgrading my health, reaching the max upgrade with my healing item and learning all the base game skills, as I'll pick up the New Game Plus skills later. The game is very easy on New Game Plus as well, as I speedran to the end of the game in about 4 hours, and once I reached the final boss, I decided to get the bad ending, which was to take Adam's hand with 100% not being there, which would mean Lily would die, and the rest of the ending was basically the same. The trophy pots for that ending as well, and because I managed to finish this boss without dying, I was able to load into the final camp of the game and finish off the other ending, as if I didn't kill it first time, I would have had to play through the full game again. This time I chose not to take Adam's hand, which I believe was the true ending, and Adam technically is a massive god being, and it was a pretty cool fight. And after defeating him, the final trophies popped for me. The Tebas are dead. Return to the colony. Nice.
Adam,
The Teba researcher.
I'm sorry.
That's going to give us the Platinum Eve Protocol. Now I just need to finish off them skills. And yes, I know it doesn't say 100%, so to make you happy, I played through half of the game again to get skill points, to get the final bonus trophy, to getting all the New Game Plus skills. There you go. And that wraps up the Stellar Blade Platinum, and it was one hell of a game, and I highly recommend it to anyone who enjoys action games. I am now also trying to achieve the hardest Platinum challenges out there. If you could leave a comment which you'd like to see me achieve, and I will try to complete that challenge. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.